Depot Park, getting you ready for the final game of the first half. But that's short-term thinking. Long-term thinking is a pillar of this Marlins front office and organization, and boy, did the Marlins add a few guys for the long term on day one of the MLB draft yesterday. Day two happening right now, but take a look at the players added to this organization. Bookended with the first and fifth pick, a couple of prep school kids, and Jacob Lombard, the local stud shortstop, highest ceiling in the draft according to a ton of draft experts, a couple of college arms, and Ethan Kleinschmidt and Ryan Peterson. Cam Kojal, the shortstop out of University of Arkansas, a gritty infielder as well. It was a great day, and Frankie Polari of the Marlins front office has more.
Really awesome day. Exciting draft. We're just getting started, but started off really fun with a nice surprise of a super talented player, and kind of were able to go down the list and get a lot of players that we liked. Yeah, the draft is always fun, but this was a really fun day. We feel like we brought in a bunch of new talent and a lot of different types of talent too. So really fun group, very excited.
You know, excited. I know Frankie Polari and our group, I mean, how much time they invest in the scout's life. My dad was a scout, and how lonely that job is, and the amount of time they spend away and on their own trying to figure out who's the next, you know, Xavier Edwards or Sandy Alcantara or Joe Mack. And so I know how much our group invests time into that. So we'll certainly be excited to, you know, see whose name's called for us over the next few days.
A bunch of studs added to this organization who hope to one day play here at Lone Depot Park, but your Fightin' Fish have a chance to tie the record for the most wins in franchise history before the All-Star break. They'll do that with Tyler Phillips in the bullpen trying to get them there. Marlins baseball coming up next.
Marlins baseball presented by Warner Hoffman, Gregg and Garcia, the official law firm of the Miami Marlins. By FPL and by UHealth, pushing medicine forward. The Fightin' Fish trying to finish on a nice note here. You don't want a hangover going into the All-Star break, but no matter what, terrific end to the first half of the season any way you slice it. Although the Guardians have grabbed a little of the sizzle here in this series. You look at Tyler Phillips getting set for the start here on 3 days rest.
Yeah, you look at what Tyler Phillips has been able to do for the Marlins, going deeper into ball games, but they're asking him to do something, come back on short rest. A lot of times you kind of look at this almost like it was supposed to be a bullpen, but instead of him being out there in the bullpen area doing it, do it on the field.
Travis Bazzana takes that pitch, the sweeper, and a 3-0 start to Bazzana. Travis in the series 1 for 8 with an RBI, struck out 4 times. And that sinks low, and a quick walk here to start the ball game as we look at the FPL lineup for a very opportunistic Guardians offense. They've hit for 7 runs in the series, 16 hits. It's a young lineup. Rosano, Rocchio, DeLauder, Manzardo, Watson, Arias, Halpin, Bailey, Kwan. It's the identical lineup Stephen Vogt used yesterday in their 4-1 victory. It's not fancy, Gabby, but it kind of gets the job done. Runner goes, big jump, no chance for Navarrete. Stolen base number 13 for Bazzana.
Not really much you can do here if you're Navarrete behind home plate. This is just a huge jump. You can see how he's just gaining ground, and once you see that, a lot of times catchers will just put that ball in their back pocket. So for Tyler Phillips right now, one of the things that I'm looking at, velocity, it's still there, about 95 miles an hour, especially on that sinker. But it's about getting back into the zone, and for him, that's when he's in the zone, especially with that sinker, he's going to get a lot of ground balls, going to get a lot of soft contact. But again, coming off of 3-day rest, right, for him. So I'm thinking one time through the lineup is more than enough.
Brian Rocchio, the switch hitting infielder. Count of 1-2.
And this is Tyler Phillips' Arsenal, presented by StatCast 3D Google Cloud. It's a sinker, sweeper, splitter, curveball, four-seam, and he'll occasionally throw a slider. But this is what I love, is everything in that lower bottom zone. That's going to be a lot of ground balls, and that's when he's at his best. Why? Because that sinker is going to play off that splitter.
That's fouled off. Stays 1-2 on Rocchio. Yeah, top 3 pitches he throws about 3/4 of the time, whether it is the sinker, the sweeper, or the splitter. Only a 145 average against Gabby with that splitter.
Yeah, the splitter is his pitch, but it's only works when that fastball, that sinker, is good, getting over for strikes.
Runner goes, and it's fouled off by Rocchio as Bazzana trying to get over to third base. Indians had 4 stolen bases, a season high in the game last night. They're looking for their first 4-game winning streak since mid-May. Ground ball right side and through past the diving Hicks in the right field. Sanoa fielding the throw to the plate. The tag, he's in there. Good backdoor slide by Bazzana, and the Guardians lead 1-0 quickly.
And this sinker is just left up enough. Rocchio was able to stay on it and drive it. It was a sinker out over the plate. Sowers, tries to make the diving play. Sanoa comes up firing too. Good throw. Right where he wants it to be. It was just a really good slide by Bazzana, being able to get to the outside of home plate.
So here's Chase DeLauder. He's 2 for 7 with a homer. A little pop-up that's going to get into the seats. Don't mind the throw by Sanoa.
No.
It was a good one.
And it was low.
Yeah.
Like, that's exactly what you want from your outfielders. If you're going to make that throw, keep it low. Rocchio does a good job, too. He reads it. It's going to be a close play at the plate. He knows it's going to be a close play at the plate. So he's going to take off the second, hoping that that ball is going to get cut by Hicks and seeing if they would just give up the run to get the out. But for Hicks at first base, you're listening to the catcher. You're going to let that ball go knowing that it's going to be close. It's a very good throw from Sanoa. He's got a good arm, too. Remember, he plays third base as well. But this is a great throw. Keeps it on plane. Low, good one-hopper to Navarreto.
Line the right. Sanoa is there. That was hit hard. And because it was low on a liner, no advance for Rocchio on that shot off the bat from DeLauder. That was a 96-mile-an-hour exit velo.
Yeah, let's take a look at the defense presented by Doral Kia. From left to right, Hernandez in left, Ruiz is making the start in center, and Sanoa making the start in right. From third to first, Leo Jimenez at third. Up the middle, you have Lopez and Edwards, Liam Hicks at first, and Brian Navarreto doing the catching today.
Kyle Manzardo, left-hand hitting, takes a strike. The sinker over the inside part of the plate. Manzardo is 1 for 7 with 1 run scored in the series. We're talking to Clayton McCullough today about the Guardians, Gabby, you and I, and he was saying they do those little things.
Yeah.
And they check a lot of those smaller boxes. There's a line drive foul, and one of those is, as you mentioned, the base running by Rocchio. Even with a low throw, he knew there's probably going to be a close play at the plate, so they're not going to cut it off.
It's 2, right? If they cut it off, fine. You trade the out for the run. You get an early 1-0 lead. Everything is fine. If they don't cut it off and that throw makes it home, if they do get the runner out that's sliding into home, well, you're now in scoring position. That's the thought process when you're running the bases on that play.
A lot of guys might just shut it down, though, at first base there. He didn't. So that's a good job on his part.
Yeah. Look, when you look at this Guardians team, you look at them on paper, especially offensively, and you're going, there's nothing really that sticks out to you of like, oh, wow, this is a really good offensive team. But they do all the little things correctly. They move guys over, they get guys in. They might not be hitting for high average, but they battle at the plate. Kind of a little bit like the Marlins. Marlins just have a better hitting ball club, right? But then they're going to do all of their damage, and it's going to be on the mound. And we've seen it in this series. Very good starting pitching, very good late bullpen guys.
And remember, they're still missing Jose Ramirez, their star. And they're 11-13 without him, but they came in 9-13 into this series without Ramirez, who not only hits for power, as you know, a longtime All-Star, but he runs, he does everything. He's the glue to the team. And Angel Martinez is also out, and he leads their club. He's tied for the lead with 11 home runs.
Yeah, I mean, with Ramirez in the lineup, they're 6 games over 500.
Line drive, that's a base hit. Rocchio had a hold up, but it is in left center, so they will not get an opportunity at him. He scores 2-0 Cleveland.
Again, I mean, now you don't see a lot of extra base hits. It's a lot of singles, but this is what they do. Guy on second base. If you leave anything out over the plate, and we've seen that this whole entire series, anything out over that's belt high and up, they don't miss that pitch. And they're driving it right back up the middle. They're not trying to do too much with it. They're just trying to get the job done.
And here's Khalil Watson, 1 for 7 in this series. He had a big double in the ball game last night. He wound up scoring in the 8th inning after Patrick Bailey drove him in with a 2-out double. Cut and a miss. Khalil with a run scored as well, a former Marlin draft pick. He was 16th overall a few years ago.
And you can already see, and this is just because of short rest. What they were hoping is that Tyler Phillips was going to be able to get through it really easy, not have a long inning pitch-wise, count-wise. But he's already at, what, 20 pitches at this point. It's a little bit too hard, so I have a feeling that it's going to be a short night for Tyler Phillips. Now, hopefully he can get out of this inning and at least give 1 inning for the Marlins.
Good sweeper there, 2-2 to Khalil Watson. This was going to be a bullpen day one way or the other. This is the start where Max Meyer would have made. The Marlins are going to give him a little rest. We'll ask Clayton McCullough more about that and the first half. We're going to visit with the Marlins manager live here in the 3rd inning. Got him there. Good sweeper. 2-away. And here's Gabi Arias, who went 3 for 4 in his first start in the series yesterday.
Oh, Craig, you talked about it. The sweeper and the splitter being really good pitches for Tyler Phillips. This is the sweeper. Really nice pitch. Starts at about middle and breaks in and down off the plate to get the swing and miss.
Another sweeper for a strike, 0-1. Arias, born in Venezuela, moved to Orlando at age 12 with his dad Miguel and has lived in Claremont ever since. My dad used to live in Claremont. It's a little hilly, surprisingly. It's one of the higher points in a flat land here in the state of Florida. A little.
Is that the one where your dad would say, I went uphill both ways to school and back?
Yeah, no. He went in the snow.
He went in the snow in Florida.
To New York. Ground ball deep in the hole. Backhanded by Lopez. Goes over to Edwards for the out. The Guardians do get 2 in the first.
From Wells Fargo, terms apply.
Marlins TV is presented by Warner Hoffman, Gregg, and Garcia. Welcome back as we go to the bottom of the first inning. Final game before the All-Star break. Guardians getting 2 in the first. Marlins will now try to get the offense going in this series. 3 runs, 11 hits so far. Here's our WHD Marlins starting lineup. Lopez, Hernandez, Hicks, Edwards, Sanoa, Jimenez, Ruiz, Hines, and Navarrete. You see the right-handed feature here. The lone lefty will be Liam Hicks. Facing the very good lefty in Joey Cantillo. From Honolulu, Hawaii.
Yeah, when you kind of look at Joey Cantillo and his numbers, one of the biggest things is I look at his last 5 starts where he's 3-1, Craig, and has a 1.55 ERA. He's only given up 5 earned runs, so he's given up 1 earned run per game. One of the things he will do, though, is he will walk guys. So as a Marlin hitter, one, you got to be aggressive, especially off the fastball, because his secondary pitches are very, very good. And this is what I'm trying to say with him, and we'll give you the scouting presented by Las Mercedes. one, you got to be very aggressive because early in the counts, he will give up some damage. Guys are hitting 571 on the first pitch. He's got a Vulcan changeup, and that Vulcan changeup is absolutely nasty. Guys are only hitting 170, and it's elite extension. He's getting 7.2 feet of extension, meaning that 92, 93 mile an hour fastball is going to look more like 94 to a hitter.
96th percentile in the extension.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
it's
incredible.
It's in the
and he's
elite.
already 6'4", big guy.
Right. He's 6'4", 225 pounds, the 26-year-old on the mound. And I mean, he gets on you quick.
2-2 chop foul. We talked about that change in curve, his featured pitches.
Yeah, I mean, this is what he tries to do. He's going to tunnel that fastball up in the zone, and it's going to be about 92, 93 miles an hour. The changeup, the Vulcan changeup, guys are only hitting 170 against it. And then he does have that big curveball where guys are only hitting 186. Those are the three main pitches.
And he got him on that curve. Strikes out Lopez to start off the bottom of the first.
We just finished talking about the curveball. Guys really aren't doing too much damage off of it, and you can see why. When it starts low, basically starting at the belt as a hitter, you have to let it go. You're going to have to look for that ball pop out of his hand, meaning that that ball will look like it kind of shoots up. That's going to be the pitch that's going to stay over the heart of the plate, one that you can drive. If you don't see that pop, you got to take it just like Hernandez just did. And here is the curveball metrics of it. You got that horizontal break of 9.2 inches. There's vertical break on it of negative 60. So you're going to have a bunch of drop on that curveball. What he does is he will tunnel that fastball up, play off of that fastball up with that curveball. So out of the hand, it looks like that's going to be where you're looking, and then all of a sudden the bottom just drops out of it.
And then he throws that changeup where he's got a 40% whiff rate as well. He has had some trouble with walks. That's what you want to do, as you mentioned. If you can lay off that pitch that goes out of the zone and make him work a little harder, which the Marlins have done a great job of this season. Way better in not chasing. 2-1 pitch, chop foul. I was talking to Pedro Guerrero, the hitting coach, the other day about that. They're down to seventh in the league now. 7th best in chase percentage. Yeah. 2 years ago they were last.
Yeah, no, they've done a
last year
job.
They were middle of the pack.
Hey, that's hard work. That's Pedro Guerrero putting in the work and the guys buying into the process. Right? You can have players out there and they have their own mentality, they have their own thoughts going in of this is what I want to do. All these players have bought into Pedro Guerrero, and the proof is in the pudding, right? They're going out there, you're seeing a lot less chase. You just finished talking about it, you're seeing a lot less swing and miss.
Got him there on the changeup. So we talked about those two featured pitches, and you saw him right here in the start of the game.
Greg, I told you, right? Be aggressive. Why? Because you don't want to get to this pitch right here. The Vulcan changeup. 4th most in MLB with that pitch on strikeouts. 35 strikeouts on the Vulcan changeup. It's got a lot of depth to it. It doesn't act like your typical split, because usually a typical split, you got to talk about 1,000 RPMs. But look at the movement of that pitch. Got about a 1,500 RPM, so it's a little bit higher, but it's got a lot of action to it. And out of hand, it looks just like a fastball.
Here's Liam Hicks. He's had a good series. 2 for 4 RBI and a stolen base. Hicks nearing 290 in the season. Hits that one well to right field. Watson will not be able to play it. It's off the wall. Liam Hicks stumbled around first. Throw coming in. The slide. He's out. Brian Walsh had the call. We'll see if Hicks got in there, if the Marlins decide to look at it. It was very close. And a good throw from the outfield, and Hicks is thrown out at second base.
He starts with Celso.
Well, the Guardians have done the little things. The Marlins have made a couple of miscues. This one, just Liam Hicks coming around first base.
Here it is, Craig. Right there, you can already see he started his turn early. He was looking at the ball, which actually put him in a bad position. He tried to make up for it. Usually when you're hitting first base, you want to hit it with that right foot. Why? Because it's going to get you into a straight line to second. When you hit it with your left, you're going to have more of an angle. Usually, though, they tell guys when you're running, once you have that big stumble and you're about to fall down, put the brakes on, get yourself back to first. It's going to be a tough one for you to get to second, even though that ball was hit off the fence. You have guys in the outfield who can throw and get that ball in.
Swing and a miss by Petey Halpin, probably worked to his detriment. Fortuitous bounce perfectly off the wall to Karam. Looked like a highlight player, the way he picked it up in that cesta and fired it back in.
And how about Calvin Fauché into the ball game early? This is probably what we're going to be seeing a lot of. You might have a couple guys that you see maybe throw a couple different innings, but this is going to be a bullpen game for the Marlins today.
Halpin, Bailey, and Kwan, bottom three in the lineup for Cleveland. Petey went 1 for 4 in his start yesterday. Just called up earlier in the week. That's chop foul. Where's number 0? We're a big fan of that, as it was Mr. Met.
You don't like the number 0?
It's not a number.
It's not a number. Okay.
You? It's an odd number.
It is.
Actually, it's even.
But I mean, Judge put on 99, and that seemed to be okay.
He's Aaron Judge. Swing and a miss. Tough play here. Navarreto the throw. Oh, that's a good one. And they get the strikeout on the speedy Petey Halpin, 2-3.
I thought the Marlins were going to have trouble on this one. A really good curveball by Fauché, getting that ball down. Navarreto does a good job of blocking. Turned just a little bit, which is why that ball came off the angle that it did. But Navarreto's able to jump on it quick. And how about that throw over to first? You can see the body angle, tries to keep it in front, but since it was a curveball, once it hits the dirt, it's going to have a mind of its own. It's going to bounce to a different direction, but he's quick enough to get up and make the play.
Here's Patrick Bailey, Guardians catcher. Not only that, but you come in the game, last time he played was a week ago.
Yep.
Brian Navarreto started last Sunday against the Athletics. Your first real play of the game, and you have to scramble and throw a bullet to first base.
There is something to be said that Navarreto is up here also because of what he does behind the plate. And I feel like they've really started to realize what that catching position means to a really good pitching team.
Bailey with a base hit. He had a good offensive series. He had a 2-run double. That 8th inning double made it 4-1 yesterday. Now a message from FPL.
At FPL, our teams are working every day because reliability isn't an option, it's a commitment. FPL, working for you every single day.
Like the pinstripe chest protector today. Marlins in their Sunday teal. Good four-seam fastball to Stephen Kwan. He's 2 for 7 in the series. Chopper foul, 0-2 to Stephen Kwan. Guardians are looking to get a break here. If they can win today and the White Sox lose, they would have sole possession of first place. They have hung in there despite losing their star player. 4 games over 500, good enough for first place right now in the AL Central.
Yeah, they've done it off the back of that starting pitching. You've talked about it a couple times where they've had the same starting pitching from the beginning of the year. There has been no injuries. They've been very healthy. Very lucky to have that because you don't really see that in baseball.
They're the only team in Major League Baseball that has used 5 starters, and that's it. Ground ball, going to find a hole under the glove of Lopez, who was shaded over toward the middle of the diamond. That's a base hit. And that's how it's been going here for the Marlins against Cleveland. They seem to just find the right little spot, get a hit here, hit there, or make a good defensive play like we saw last inning.
I mean, it's been crazy to see because this ball's not well hit at all. You're talking about 85 miles an hour off the bat. This looked like it was off the end of the bat too, but they're just hitting it to the perfect spot. It's like if the Marlins are playing for pull, they're hitting it off the end of the bat the opposite way, or they're breaking a bat and they're just falling right in behind that behind the defense in the infield and just catching some grass. Sometimes that just happens in a series, right? You're playing against a team and everything is just going their way.
Wee Willie Keeler in the late 19th century hit them where they ain't, and they're doing that.
They're doing it.
Rosana's up, takes one inside. 1-1 count on Travis, who walked and scored in the first inning. The Guardians, I should say, have been grabbing the lead throughout the series.
Yeah, every single game they have started off with the lead, and the Marlins have not been able to come back and catch them.
Scored 2 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, 3-0 lead in game 1, 1-3-2. Similar to yesterday, 2-0 lead. It was 2-1. They added 2 more in the eighth, 1-4-1, and here leading and threatening in the second inning. There's Stephen Vogt, back-to-back manager of the year.
And you talk about the importance too about scoring first. When the Guardians score first, they're 36-16 on the season. A lot of that has to do where you score first, the pitching that they have, they're able to kind of take over a game. Then you send it off to the bullpen. That bullpen's been very, very good.
They're 2 over 500 at home and 2 over on the road. Hit the second softly. Edwards to Lopez for 1 on the first. Got him at first base. Double play. Good job by Calvin Fauché to get out of that one. 2-0 Guards. Welcome back. Bottom of the second. We go 2-0 Guards. Our Doral Kia double play here.
I'll tell you what, this is the 4th double play in 2 games that the Marlins have been able to turn. The pitcher's best friend. This one going Edwards to Lopez to Hicks to get Fauché out of the inning.
Marlins have turned 58 now, about middle of the pack in the major leagues, but a lot more of late.
Yeah.
Well, they had a big one in the game last night. It looked like it might be one of those game-changing with the bases loaded scenario in that first inning. And they got out of that bases loaded no-out jam with no runs, but the Guardians did score 4 as the game moved on and won it. Edwards is up. He has a 7-game hitting streak going. Practically on the heels of his fine hitting streak to end June. He had a 9-gamer. Overall, he's hitting .362 in his last 19 games.
Yeah, talk another guy that there was a point for him to maybe not have an all-star break himself and have to go to Philadelphia with the season that he was having. Hitting over 300, 6 homers on the year, an OPS over 800. One of the better second basemen in the game.
Cantillo missing 1 and 2. He's had an all-star first half. Sometimes the numbers don't work. There's too many second basemen. There's not a spot, but he's played all-star quality, not only offensively, but defensively. Second base.
Hey, you look at the Marlins up the middle, especially defensively now, starting where you have like a Joe Mack, you have an Edwards.
There's a base hit for Edwards. 8-game hitting streak. And a leadoff runner. Got to give a little charge to the Marlins offense.
Great job, too, because remember, he started off this at-bat with an 0-2 count. Took a ball and then able to get a good four-seam fastball to the top of the zone. We said it, that's what he likes to do. He's going to throw that fastball to the top of the zone. You got to be ready to hit it. Edwards, ready to hit it, head over the barrel, drives it the opposite way. Beautiful job.
Javier Sanoa batting 5th today. 3 homers, 34 RBIs. Shows bunt, pulls back. Now, he's trying to push that bunt?
Yeah, he's trying to push that bunt. With a lefty on the mound, whenever they're delivering the ball, they're always going to fall off towards that third base side of the field. So what you're doing is you're trying to look at where that second baseman is. Bazzani, oh, you're playing back? Okay, there's an opening for me to maybe push bunt this ball over there.
Swing and a miss there, 1-1. Sometimes the surprise element gone, and then you said, okay, I had one shot at it.
You didn't get the pitch that you were looking for, that's fine, but what you do is bring in that infield. Now all of a sudden the infield starts to think, okay, and then all of a sudden now there's more openings for you.
Edwards with a good lead, and Cantillo sees that, throws over.
And the best is when guys do that, all of a sudden the hitter will come up and act like he's going to bunt again, right? Just to say, hey, yeah, no, I'm still going to bunt here, knowing that you were going to pick over.
There's a bunt out in front of the plate, played by Bailey. The throw gets by the first baseman, Manzardo, and Sanoa is safe. Bailey is, I'm not sure what he's indicating.
Bailey is trying to say that Sanoa was inside of the line. But the problem is that when Sanoa bunted that ball, he was already in territory and he was working his way back to the base.
So
and that's what they're trying to say. They're trying to say, no, sorry, that did not affect anything on this play. So here he is. He's going to bunt, right? Because you want to bunt this ball. And he got lucky, too, because if you bunt that ball out of the batter's box, you're going to be out. So where he started to where he's running, he was getting back into the lane, the running lane.
Looked like his foot was out of the batter's box, too.
But remember, too, if you're just touching the white line.
He was over it.
I don't believe so. I believe his foot was on that white line.
Watch the left foot.
It's on.
Way over.
Ooh, boy, that's. I wasn't looking at the heel. That front foot was over that line.
But that's not what they're talking about.
But this is where the running lane is, where he starts. But look how he's working his way back. So when that throw happens, he's already there.
Nothing to do with it.
Yeah. And that's what they basically said. There's nothing to do there. Bailey was trying to fight for it because he knew he had no chance to get Sanoa, who was flying, by the way, down that first base line.
That's a good call by the umpire right there, because it's easy to look at a guy halfway down and be on that left side. It had nothing to do with the play. Got back to the line, and it's first and second. Maybe a break finally for the Marlins here. It's a bunt single. So much for only one attempt at a bunt there for Sanoa. He tried it again. It worked. Here's Jimenez. Jimenez homered earlier in the series. 7th inning solo shot in game number 1. He went 1 for 3. Good speed on the base paths.
Oh, if you're Jimenez right now, you got yourself into a really good hitter's count. I'm looking fast, but if he wants to throw a wrinkle and he wants to throw the curveball or he wants to throw that Vulcan changeup, I'm letting him have it. But I am geared up for a heater right now.
Takes that changeup.
Yeah, you let him have it. That's not what you're gearing up for. If you try to swing at that pitch, you're just going to hit it off the end of the bat because you're going to be out in front. Now 2-1, you can kind of set your eyes right back maybe up the middle so you can stay on that fastball but still pull that changeup.
Takes that changeup. Good eye there. 3-1 now with Esteri Ruiz on deck for Miami. Even though today they're the Florida Marlins in the old teal. Took a cut on that cutter and missed it, so it's a full count.
Be interested to see if all of a sudden these guys take off here on a 3-2 count.
Just going to ask you that.
You got speed on the bases with Edwards at second, Sanoa at first. And you also have a righty up in Jimenez that's going to be covering at least that third base area for you.
Edwards doesn't have a big lead. He is inching. He's not going. 3-2 pitches up high. Curveball. And the Marlins have bases loaded and nobody out. Very good at bat for Leo Jimenez. Not get too anxious up there. And Esteri Ruiz is up now, the 27-year-old from the Dominican Republic, who walked 3 times in the start on Friday and had a stolen base. Infield is back for Cleveland, up the middle. High pop-up. Very shallow.
Should be an infield fly.
Left field. Infield fly is called. And a big out for Cantillo.
Yeah, being aggressive there, I'm surprised that he was aggressive on a curveball. And one of the reasons why is Cantillo has shown, especially early on here, that curveball, he's not able to get it over. So, you know, especially after a walk, you've got to be thinking, I'm looking for one pitch alone.
All right, debut time. Welcome to Miami. Rhys Hines, a powerful outfielder. Marlins picked up recently. He was in the minor leagues. You may remember the name, big swing and a miss. He came up with the Reds a couple of years ago, had an incredible start, 5 homers in his first 6 games, homers in his first 2 games, and he hit 3 of those homers against the Marlins in mid-July of 2024. Out in front of that changeup, though, and it's 0-2.
And Cantillo, he knows that there's going to be aggression right now with Rhys Hines. What does he do? Takes a little bit off, throws that Vulcan changeup twice. Now, if you're Hines in this situation, you don't want to just put the ball in play, right? There is some times where a swing and a miss is okay, but you better turn this field around so you can stay on it.
The 0-2 is a curveball, and it just missed 1-2.
You got to be thinking right now, right center field on that fastball to be able to at least stay on that changeup enough.
Watson playing a shallow right field, and he got him on the changeup. So bases loaded, no out. Now bases loaded, 2 outs, and it's up to Brian Navarreto.
I mean, this is exactly what they're going to do. They knew that the young man was going to be very aggressive. So what do? You throw some changeups. It's going to look like a fastball out of hand, and just gets him. He's just out in front.
Pitch inside, good block though by Bailey, doesn't get away. Clayton McCullough will join us in the bottom of the 3rd inning. It happens, I think, less than 15% of the time a team gets out of a bases loaded, no out jam with no runs. Happened in the game last night.
Marlins were able to do it, and now all of a sudden the Guardians are trying to do it to the Marlins.
1-0 to Navarreto, in front again of that changeup. A little nod of acknowledgement by the Marlins catcher, 31-year-old, playing in his 16th major league game. 2 for 9 on the year. And there's a curve that just catches the outer part of the strike zone.
Now, if you're a Marlin and you're inside of that dugout and you're watching Cantillo, runners in scoring position, what is he relying on right now? Those secondary pitches, he's throwing a whole boatload of them. So you got to now have that in your mind, going up there to bat. Okay, with guys in scoring position, he goes to those secondaries.
1-2. That changeup just missed. He's landing the curveball better now, too. The diet here.
Yeah, I mean, it really is.
Curve.
It is that Vulcan changeup and the curveball.
And he goes after that one on the curve, and he strikes him out, and a great wiggle job there by Cantillo.
Baseball's hottest June team.
Welcome back to Lone Depot Park. We saw the Marlins catchers before Friday's game doing a unique catching drill here with catching instructor Craig Driver. Band on the arm, sitting backwards in a chair. So this is about snapping up toward the ball and stealing pitches low in the zone. That's what Clayton McCullough told me. The band is intended to provide resistance, right? So that when you remove it, you can move that much quicker toward the ball in the same way you might have a guy sprint with some band resistance. And sitting in the chair, that's about making sure the guys have the best possible posture to focus on grabbing those pitches, particularly low in the zone.
Line drive to left, caught off the bat of Rocchio. Thank you, Jeremy. Hernandez makes the catch on the liner, as long as the catchers aren't asking for a nice comfy chair when they come out for the ball game. But hey, look, the innovation, it looks different. It's different than you see around Major League Baseball. I think the proof is in the pudding of what this staff, from the Peter Bendix and Gabe Kapler down to the field level and the coaching staff, they're innovative.
It's funny when you see, drills like that, just kind of outside standing in. And, I did catch in the minor leagues, and I had to do a whole bunch of drills. And then you see something like that going, who created that one, right? Like, what is it that you were sleeping one day, you woke up and went, I got a great drill that I feel like will work. And guess what? Proof is in the pudding. It's working.
Good work on your fishing yacht as well. That ball is well hit, struck by DeLauder deep to center field, and room for Ruiz, who makes the catch right at the wall. You could hook your fish a little better with the same kind of maneuver.
I'll tell you what, they've got some strong form and strong wrist.
Well, the Park held that one for the impressive young DeLauder, the rookie from James Madison, who homered earlier in the series. Here's Manzardo. O'Shea trying to get a 1-2-3 inning in his second inning of work. Pitch is down low, 2-0 to Manzardo. You ever been to that Idaho area? I don't know if you played minor league ball out there. Coeur d'Alene, that's where he's from.
I don't believe so.
Probably one of the few spots you haven't.
I mean, I may have, but it might have been like.
You'd remember
you play. You remember it?
No, it's the Coeur d'Alene area is
gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
this
no,
giant lake.
I don't remember that.
My sister lives in Idaho, a little north of there, so I've been there a few times, and it is spectacular.
You've been everywhere, huh?
No. Outfield deep straightaway on the 3-1 pitch, taken for a strike, 3-2. Be nice to get a 1-2-3 inning, get right back at it here for the offense. Looked like the Marlins were going to get on the board. It's been a frustrating offensive series. If you think some of these plays, the Stowers play last night with the back pick over there behind him at second, Hicks here tonight.
You know what, though? What that last inning just showed me is that they kind of are figuring something out here. So hopefully that continues next inning. You're going to be at the top of the lineup. You're able to get guys on again, because I don't see that happening again. I feel like next time they have guys in scoring position, they're going to be coming in.
A good Greek move of the game. Dax Fulton recalled from AAA Jacksonville. He's the lefty. Will Kempner placed on the 15-day IL, unfortunately, with a right elbow sprain. Softly up the middle.
Nice.
Lopez to second, and that will end the inning. Clayton McCullough ready to put the headset on. We come back here to Marlins TV. Listen! McCullough here. Hopefully this will get this offense going. It's been a little frustrating, Skip, here in this series because your teams have been on fire coming in. How are you?
Yeah, they have. How you doing, guys? Good afternoon. They have. It has been a little frustrating, and I think the times that we have, created a little bit of traffic, we haven't been able to come through this series like we have recently, and that's just, hitting's tough, and that's the way it goes. I think we talk a lot about just trying to give yourselves as many opportunities as you can, and believing that you'll come through.
Clayton, when you have these type of games, those bullpen games, how hard is it to manage these, and what pitchers are coming in?
Yeah, this one is a little different, with the All-Star break coming, and certainly everyone basically today is available to pitch in this game, and so now you're looking at it. Well, we're at a deficit, and you see us going to Calvin right there early on to try to keep us in this game, and I think now we're just trying to hold ourselves in this spot as long as we can and give the offense a chance to come back and just kind of pass it from one guy to the other.
Count of 1-2 on Otto Lopez. Were you hoping to get more than one inning out of Phillips on only the 3 days rest?
Yeah, 3 days rest. We knew probably it was going to be, one inning or a pitch count even in that first inning that if he got to, I think we appreciate him willing to, step up today and start that thing for us. And, we felt like we had a lot of guys available back behind him, but trying to, to get the first thing out of him, and then kind of where we finished in the lineup to decide which way we went after that.
Clayton, it's been a really fun first half of the season, the way that the boys have been playing. What have you loved the most?
I think I love how our group has handled any amount of adversity that's come their way, and whether that be some of our own performance on the field and how we, at times just haven't played up to the level of our own expectations, as well as dealing the normal parts of a season, which is, guys getting injured and other guys having to come up and contribute and step up. So I've loved how our group has been incredibly resilient through this first half of the season. And look, we got our backs against the wall today, trying to at least salvage this series. So another opportunity for us.
Roberto Hernandez is up. Clayton, regardless of how this game goes, and hopefully it goes in your direction, an amazing run here since June 1st. Still have the best record since June 1st. And no matter what, it's either the second most wins ever or tied for the most wins ever going into the second half. You have set yourself up in good position.
Yeah, we have. And I mean, it took, we were hoping, early on we weren't playing that well. It's like, let's just not put ourselves in too big of a hole, because we believed that we were going to have a good run in us. And we were able to turn things around, right the ship, start playing much better, stacking some wins together. So we do, overall, looking at the, where we are at this juncture of the season, we put ourselves in a good spot. And, whatever happens today, we know we got a lot of work ahead of us and a lot of games in the second half. But, hey, I think if we could sign up, start in the second half, where we'll be, we would have taken that coming out of spring training.
Clayton, how is the belief built in your club with the success? That's a fair ball.
Nice. There you go, Bert.
There you go.
I think that I've just seen this from, easy. I've seen our group. I mean, even going back to last year, it was a lot of incredibly hungry players that, wanted to prove to everyone that, they could play here at the major league level. And I think they enjoy playing with each other. They love to practice. They appreciate being coached hard. And, whether we're winning games or we're losing games, they want to be coached, and they show up each day making that day the most important. And I think as a manager, there's nothing else that you could hope for from a group than those guys who like to play in, the right way and show up each day hungry to get better.
Clayton, I mean, the team has done such a good job this whole entire first half, right? The way that they've been playing, the way that they go about their business, the hustle on the field. But there is always about a young team continuously getting better. What is it that you see in this team that you're going, you know what, this second half, I hope we do this better?
I hope that we don't let the noise become a distraction. I think that'll be a lot on myself and our staff that, look, again, it's great to have been winning a bunch of games and be in a good spot, but also that doesn't guarantee us anything. And the goal is the same. It's come here every day, get better, prepare for that night's opponent, play as hard as you can that night, let the chips fall where they may, and whatever is written, said, we'll have to learn how to tune that out and keep the focus on what's really important, and that's winning games.
Pitch down low, but that's what you want too, in a way, right, Clayton? You want success, and with success comes more attention, more questions. It's just dealing with that, especially as a young ball club.
Exactly. And like I said, I welcome it. I love that. I love the expectations that we have. I love all of the attention that our team and a number of our players have gotten on not just a local stage, but nationally with some of the seasons they've had and what we've done. So I welcome it. I love it. I think it's great. And we're building where that's every year, is that we're in these types of conversations.
You're a regular on the national radio now. Your radio deal. There's a ground ball to second by Hicks. Runner will move over to third. York Ball Club, when you look at all the moments in the first half, I think of that X play that just stands out. I know you mentioned it the other day, the savviness he had against the Dodgers.
Yeah, I do. I go back to a couple of plays. That Xavier play in LA, the game-ending double play where he had the presence of mind to chase down Ohtani, tag him first, then tag the bag. I think that just shows like his athletic ability, his skill set, his baseball IQ, and I think Craig Mish might have mentioned the other day the Zuber coming in against the Rays when he got Caminero to finish that game. You know, you look at it over the course of the season, and we talk a lot about needing contributions from a lot of places, and it does. It takes that. A team requires, you know, the parts to all work together. So a lot of times in games, it's the focus on one individual, maybe a play they made or a big hit. But a lot of times over the course of the season, you need a lot of contributions.
And I feel like what you're going to need, too, is some rest and getting out of baseball for a little bit. So we're going into the All-Star break. Any plans? Anywhere you're going to go?
I'm going to stay local, Gabby. We're gonna just hang out as a family and enjoy a few days, unplugged a little bit, and recharge for what we know is going to be a very exciting second half here.
Is there anything that you're telling the guys on the team? Like, hey, guys, you know, don't do X, Y, and Z. Let's make sure that we're being safe.
I'm just telling them to go relax. You know, every player across and staff member across Major League Baseball has earned this, you know, 4 days to recharge a little bit, reconnect with some family, let the body and mind heal some. We'll be watching our All-Stars for sure in Philadelphia, pulling for Otto, and to hopefully see Max in the dugout cheering the boys on. So excited to watch that, and more importantly, just excited to give us all a chance to get away from each other for a little while, and then, you know, we'll be ready to go Friday in Milwaukee.
I saw you get after it in the Pacific Ocean last year on that road trip, so I know the ocean's going to be ready for. You should see this guy.
There'll definitely be some swimming going on. I know my kids will at least want to get in the pool and get thrown around a little bit. So I think that will be the perfect All-Star break.
Well, thanks for your time, Clayton. We appreciate it. It's been so much fun for all of us to talk with you every day, to cover this great team. I know fans are enjoying it. You can feel the energy. How about the crowd today? Nice Sunday crowd here.
Yeah.
Send them off with a win.
I know. Let's get them a win. It's a great fan base we have here too. Hey, and appreciate Craig, you, Gabby, everyone for your support. You're instrumental in what we're doing here, so we can't thank you guys enough.
Thanks so much. Line drive, and look at that. Just on time.
Hold on. We should stay
Yeah,
on.
stay on. Stay on.
Okay.
Hold on. We got more questions now.
I'm not superstitious. There have been a few times over the last couple of years where we have these segments, and then we start, we start kind of rolling a little bit. So.
Well, let's keep it going then.
Okay. Well, let me ask you.
Sanoha here.
Yeah, the X-Man here is the cleanup man. Why do you like him in this spot?
I like X. He's just such a good hitter. I like him anywhere. The switch hit certainly helps. You know, so many times the first inning, you know, you get a guy in scoring position with 2 outs, and the single becomes a very important hit. And he's such a good hit collector. Or if, you know, the second inning starts out with, you know, it goes 1, 2, 3 in the first. Now you have him the chance to lead off in the second. He helps spread out sometimes. You know, Liam and Stowers make it a little tougher for some of their left-handed relievers to get through both of those guys. But I think that, I mean, that's something too. Our guys have, I think, become accustomed to just kind of hitting wherever I think that day gives us the best chance, whether it's against the starter or how a pin is lined up. And Xavier has certainly embraced that, and he's hitting a lot of different places. So I commend our guys, too, for being very open-minded to maybe what's not traditionally seen as, you know, what should happen. But I think they're just up for, you know, winning baseball games.
You know, I've heard a lot, and, you know, people ask me questions on, you know, when you're talking about that lineup, because all of a sudden you have Liam Hicks leading off basically a bunch.
Come on,
That's beautiful.
Look at Sanoha.
He's awesome, isn't he?
Oh, man.
I mean, what does he mean to the team? Forget my other question. Sanoha, what he's able to do.
You see the energy he brings. He's been swinging the bat really well, but Gabby, I can count on that guy to put the ball in play. I trust the at-bats so much. With his ability to move the ball around the field. You saw the bunt hit in the first at-bat. I mean, he's playing right field today. He's played a lot of third this year, and some of that is a little bit out of it's just kind of what's been opened up. I mean, we saw him last year probably play a lot more short, second, some center, but with how Otto and X have been able to play so well and stay healthy, he's really kind of taken and run with some opportunity he's got at third base. But for a young player, and Gabby, you know how tough this is, to be ready for having to take on multiple positions, the days he doesn't start, he knows he's going to probably factor in at some point, whether that's pinch hitting, coming in late for defense, and he handles it so professionally. He's always ready, and as a manager, that's what you just hope that you know, your players are ready for their moment and understanding that this is a difficult game and it won't always work out. And to know that you got the, you know, that I have the trust in those guys means the world to me.
But when you have a guy like Sanoa, like today, you're able to put him in right field. And what happens? Ball's going to find him. First play, great throw to home. Couldn't get it, but it was right on line. It was where you want to throw it. Low, down, nice one hopper. You don't see guys in baseball being able to be a extremely good infielder and then move to the outfield and be a very good outfielder. I mean, there's a reason why he has a Gold Glove.
That's right. It's people don't, you know, it's become more. It's become a little bit more in vogue, you know, recently in baseball, where the versatility has become important. Guys play multiple positions, but it's one thing to do that. It's another to be good at a lot of places, and he certainly is. I mean, the Gold Glove speaks for itself, and how he can. I don't know the last time he played the outfield, but he goes out there and he's ready to go, and he knows where to throw the ball and makes good decisions. So just a trustworthy player.
Jimenez ground ball to shortstop. Rocchio handles, throws to first. Did he go off the base? No, they say he stayed on.
I think he stayed on, but we'll take a.
Not bad.
We'll take a quick look, but I think he stayed on the bag.
Clayton's put the hand
I had a
up
better
here.
angle here. Sometimes my spot in the dugout, you can't really tell. Chad. Okay, guys, thank you.
All right, thanks, Clayton. Have a great break.
Okay.
And we appreciate your time. Clayton McCullough joining us. 2-1. Guardians.
Water.
Esta transmisión de los Marlins está disponible en español.
Welcome back. Top of the fourth, final game before the All-Star break. The Marlins with a victory will tie the most wins they've ever had. That was 3 years ago, 53 at the All-Star break. The bullpen's going to play a key role in that. Tyler Zuber next up after 2 innings scorelessly done by Calvin Fauché. Gabby Arias is up, 3 for 5 in the series.
You kind of look at what Zuber's able to do. It's a 4-seam fastball, sweeper, slider, sinker mix. It's going to be interesting, too, because usually in situations like this, you have guys who you know are going to be one-inning guys. And then you have guys that say, well, if he's able to get out, then we might be able to give him an extra inning. And even though they are going into the All-Star break, and Clayton even talked about it, where everybody is hot, you still want to win this game, right? So you want to give yourself the best chance to win this.
14th game for Zuber. Good moving 4-seamer there. 0-2 on Arias, Halpin, and Bailey to follow. 6, 7, 8 in the Guardians lineup. Well, the Marlins bullpen has been one of the stories of the first half for them. 4th in the National League in ERA, 3.72. The best average against in the major leagues at 206. Least homers in the National League allowed. As we see a line drive, there's a base hit for Arias. They've allowed only 29 home runs. Marlins fans, join us Saturday, July 25th, 4:10 p.m. for Venezuelan Heritage Celebration presented by Santa Teresa as part OD T-Mobile Heritage Series. Special ticket package includes exclusive Venezuelan Heritage jersey. Get your tickets now, marlins.com/Venezuela. July 25th. That is going to be a fun day at the ballpark. That'll be the first homestand after the Marlins road trip following the All-Star break. Marlins will go to Milwaukee and Houston and then return and play San Diego for that weekend series, including the middle game, the Venezuelan Heritage Day, and then the Phillies will be in town. Bunt attempt by Halpin. Interesting what Clayton McCullough brought up, though, with us among the topics was not getting caught up in some of the hype.
Yeah, the noise.
Which certainly we can do here with the team broadcast, the local media, and then the national attention the team is getting. They're showing up on MLB Network. You know, every day somebody seems to be on there. Clayton's got his radio show, but that's part of it.
It is part of it. And I remember when I got traded over to the Pirates. The Pirates were right in the thick of it, right? It looked like They were going to make the playoffs for the first time in 20 years, and the noise was loud. And the players, even though we did have some older guys, it was the anticipation of, we're right there. We can get it. You know, you just need this one game. And then you start to put that pressure on. And guess what? Like, didn't do it that year. But the next year, you kind of have that thought process already going into it. So it's very smart for Clayton to say, what do I want to see?
Real, though, is what you're saying.
It's completely real. Where all of a sudden you start to get a little tighter, because that is what you work for. The whole entire season, you are working for getting into the playoffs. And when you can smell it, when it's right there, you know, like, hey, we can make this. And then who knows, once you get to the playoffs, what happens.
Michael Peterson starting to stretch in the bullpen. That pitch missed. 2-2 count.
And again, that goes to show you, with Michael Peterson coming up, that Clayton wants to win this game. It's not just a throwaway, hey, let's just get into the All-Star break, have our 4 days off, give guys some rest. It's like, no, you're going out there and you want to win this one.
And he wants to win this inning, too, I think, because if Peterson is getting ready, if there's problems, he's the guy who usually comes in and puts the fire out. And no matter where in the ball game when it's a tight game. He probably, if he had his druthers, would probably like to save him for later, but he's not going to do that if he needs to bring him in. Arias has 3 steals. He has not been caught. That pitch is hammered in the air to right. That should be an easy play for Javier Sanoa. Way up. Now a message from Doral Kia.
Take advantage of a pricito now on all of your favorite new Kia models. Like a new Kia K5, Sportage, Sorento, Soul, and more.
1 out, 1 on. Here's Patrick Bailey, switch hitting catcher. Came over from the Giants in May. Bailey has 2 hits in his last 2 times up, had a 2-run double last night, and now a single in the 2nd inning here today. Boy, good crowd on hand on a Sunday. We hope to see you out here in the 2nd half. A lot of what we hope are big ball games here at home. And the Marlins have talked about it. We heard Tyler Phillips the other day talking about the energy from the crowd, how they feed off it, and the increasing buzz that we're all feeling here in South Florida.
Huge buzz.
Another shot to right. Back is Edwards, and in is Sanoa. The easier play is for the right fielder who makes the catch.
Craig, I mean, just walking around, you know, people do still recognize me every once in a while, and I'll get the, hey, Marlins are playing really good baseball. And I'm like, yeah, you should go see it in person because it's great. And they're telling me, oh, we're watching it on Marlins TV. We're doing, you know, we're going to as many games as we possibly can. So they're starting to believe, and they're starting to come out and realize, hey, this team is real. They're playing good, and they've got a chance.
One of the interesting viewpoints here is beyond the outfield wall. If you've ever gone out to the right field there, and there's a nice crowd out in the upper tank and the lower tank in right field and right center here today as well. 2 out, 1 on. Kwan is 1 for 1 in the game. Thinks that sweeper just didn't come in enough. 1-0. 1-1, I beg your pardon. Brian Navarrete has done a good job defensively. When he catches, you don't feel a drop-off from Joe Mack.
No, the defensively behind the plate, 2 really good backstops for the Marlins.
Tremendous lead at first, doesn't go, and a good sweeper. 1 and 2.
And it makes a huge difference, Craig, when you're talking about the backstops and what it means to a team. Not only what it means to a team, but what it means to a pitching staff. And like, I start to go look and say, okay, when Joe Mack came up, what has been the Marlins record when he's playing in the games? Marlins are 32-20.
Runner goes, line drive, that's a base hit. Arias with a throw over to third, and he gets in there easily. Unfortunately for the Marlins, no advance for Kwan. He stays at first. Boy, Stephen Kwan has been coming alive in this series. That's his 4th hit now in the series.
It's not only in this series. He's actually been getting hot ever since basically June, and he's been doing this. It's what makes it him good. It's his bread and butter of driving the ball the opposite way, staying behind the baseball, and that's exactly what he's been doing every single game this series. You haven't seen him really pull anything. It's been going the opposite way.
And because of the situation with first and third and runs at a premium, Michael Peterson will come in and try and get out of this inning for Miami. 2-1. Cleveland leading here in the 4th.
For a limited time, only at Pizza Hut.
Well, you can get the best of Marlins baseball with a season ticket membership. Exclusive events, player access, savings on tickets, merch, and concessions. Learn more at marlins.com/members. Big Mike is in a big spot here in the 4th inning. First appearance of the series from Michael Peterson. Big lead runner will go. No throw. Kwan steals second. Pitch was a strike.
Man, that was a setup play. They weren't never going to make that throw over to second. Right now they're looking at Michael Peterson to see if he can get Travis Bassana out of this game.
That 4-seamer missed. 1-1 to Bassana, the lefty. Now Rocchio, a right-hand hitter. No, the switch hitter, I beg your pardon, is on deck, so he will be able to bat left-handed. There's a cut and a miss on that 4-seam fastball.
Yeah, but
this space is open, but he wants to go after him.
Yeah, this is it. You're going after Travis Bassana. You're not trying to get to the next guy. You're going to say, hey, Michael Peterson, this is your dude. Let's get out of this inning right now. Utilize that fastball, top of the zone. Use that breaking ball down.
Boy, how good has Michael Peterson been?
Oh, incredible.
For the Miami Marlins. He's one of the best relievers in baseball. Key spots. This is his 39th game. Here's that 1-2 pitch, and that is fouled off. He has inherited 15 runners, and only one has scored.
This is the guy that Clayton McCullough counts on in situations like this. Guys on base, guys in scoring position to be able to come out of it and get the Marlins back into the dugout.
Lefty's batting $191 against him. Pitch on the way. Good block there by Navarrete with runners on second and third.
See if he goes back up with the fastball again. This one with that breaking ball down. See if he expands up with that good fastball.
Bassana has struck out 60 times this year. And a high pop-up. Marlins should get out of it. Lopez calling. Lopez catching. Peterson does it again.
Home for family fun. Welcome back, Marlins fans, and you might remember this moment on our Marlins.tv broadcast where we saw a dog looking mighty jealous of another one having a hot dog at the game. Well, that moment went pretty viral, and the Marlins went on a search to find said dog. Turns out his name is Jonah. He came here to the ballpark today to throw out the first pitch, and ultimately, this is the very good boy right here. So, Jonah actually has a bit of a sensitive tummy, so I'm feeding him a hot dog treat right here. But Jonah, I was talking with him earlier, guys. He told me that his favorite players are Griffin Conine, because it sounds like canine, Reese Hines, because he also has hind legs, and of course Otto Lopez, because Otto has that dog in him. guys. And of course, Jonah told me that he plans to come out to many more Bark at the Park days on Monday nights here at the ballpark. And Otto also might not know this, but his lovely wife was up here earlier, might also be grabbing a dog from Life of Paws, where you can rescue a little baby like this guy, Jonah. So he doesn't know that yet, but I do, and so does Jonah.
All right, good stuff.
Yeah, my wife did that. Now we have that puppy at home. Hey, you can send him over here to the booth. We want to see Jonah.
Yeah. Maybe we'll bring him up.
I would love to see Jonah.
I'll talk with his human pal, Peter, and we'll see if we can get him up there.
Dog went viral, right, Jeremy?
Oh, mega viral.
Huge.
He ended up on Good Morning America. He ended up everywhere. Like, these interviews were insane, and it was all because we captured it on Marlins TV, and then ultimately Marlins socials team, they really did an amazing job. Sent out the PSA, we need to find this dog and give him a great day. So he's had his dream day here at the ballpark. Chewy chipped in. They've got all sorts of stuff. They've got hot dog treats. I don't know if you guys can see this right here, but I mean, it's pretty amazing. Like, the stuff that they have out here. They had the actual treats. They have the toys right here that he was playing with earlier. They had baseballs. Like, this is a pretty amazing moment. He's had a really great day, getting lots of love. And he's a total sweetheart. I mean, what a well-behaved puppy this is.
Absolutely.
Good boy. Good boy by definition.
All right, and the interviews are getting even better with all this attention. Good stuff. Strikeout there on Ruiz on the 3-2 pitch for the first out of the inning. Mysterio for 2. Here's Rhys Hines, his second at bat as a Marlin.
Well, his first at bat, what do? They just fed him a whole bunch of changeups. He was out in front. Hopefully he's able to make the adjustment here.
Would you sit on one of those
I
first pitch?
would be still sitting fastball, but I would move that fastball around. He has enough power that he can hit the ball out to right field. But if you're going to be out in front, they're just going to keep feeding you breaking pitches or changeups. That's one of the things in the big leagues. Once you get kind of a little bit of notoriety where guys know what you can do, they're going to figure out how to try to get you out. And you have to now flip the script.
And a curveball, a good one, 0-2. Rhys grew up in Niceville, Florida. That's near Destin, Gabby's vacation getaway. But told me he makes his home in Atlanta now. In his 52nd Major League game today. Check swing. It's going to stay fair, unfortunately, for the Marlins, and it's an easy out for Manzardo. So two-way, here's Brian Navarretto. To 1 ball game. Marlins scoring finally in the 3rd inning after leaving the bags loaded and nobody out in the 2nd inning. They've had a hit at least in each inning. Actually, 1 in the 1st, 2 in the 2nd, 3 in the 3rd. Not going to be easy to get 4 here in the 4th with 2 outs. That's fouled straight back. That's 69, now 70 pitches for Cantillo and 48 strikes. 71-49.
I mean, look, Cantillo's been doing a good job with that forcing fastball to the top, and now all of a sudden the secondary pitches, the changeup we've seen all game. It's a really good pitch, a lot of deception to it.
And that pitch is over the changeup for strike 3. So 1-2-3 inning for Cantillo.
You hit your person.
The Marlins All-Stars are getting set for a trip to Philadelphia. Otto Lopez and Max Meyer will be going there. Meyer probably will not be able to pitch. Otto Lopez hopefully gets in the game. No matter what, they're going to have a lifetime experience. Yeah. First-time All-Stars.
I mean, I have a feeling that Otto Lopez will be getting into a ball game. I mean, he has to be next shortstop up with the numbers that he has put up this season. So it's going to be really nice to see him get his kudos and be out there on the field with those other All-Stars. And for Max Meyer, it doesn't look like he's going to be in the game pitching, but you're still going to be able to go out there and talk with a lot of those guys. And it's funny, when I made the All-Star game.
Hit well, right field and deep, and it is gone off the upper facade. And Brian Rocchio hits his 8th homer of the year, and Cleveland leads 3-1.
This is something that you don't really see too often with Michael Peterson on the mound. Hey, look, it's a good fastball to the top of the zone at 98 miles an hour. Rocchio just able to get the bat head there. He really let Peterson supply the power. Here he is, a fastball, top of the zone at 98. Rocchio head right over the barrel. Delivered a good swing. All got out in a hurry.
Only the 3rd home run that Peterson has given up. Good news, there was no one on base, so it's a solo shot. And Chase DeLauder nearly hit one out in the 3rd inning, 0 for 2. He does have a home run in the series. Oh, 2 count on Chase DeLauder. That drops low, 1-2. The last time City of Philadelphia held an All-Star game was 30 years ago exactly.
Yeah.
1996. Now it's back here in the 250th birthday.
Yeah, and getting back to the point, when you all of a sudden you go into that All-Star game, you're talking with guys that you're typically never talking to. Like, I remember it was Roy Halladay, it was Cole Hamels, the Phillies pitching staff that, I mean, you go into Philly when they have that pitching staff, that's that rival, and now all of a sudden you're sitting in the same dugout and you're talking with one another as if you guys are best friends, and then all of a sudden the conversation turns, oh, by the way, when we play you next week, friendship's over.
Yeah.
Like, that's what the thought process is.
Lopez goes out and makes the catch.
But that's the type of experiences that these guys are going to be able to have. Otto Lopez being able to talk to the other, guys inside of that clubhouse and in the dugout and getting information of what they do, how they go about their business. Because guess what? Even in the All-Star break, guys are still working out. Guys are still doing their tee work. They're working in the bullpen, whatever it might be. Guys are still doing it. So it's just fun to kind of see how those guys progress and how they work on their trade, which is baseball.
You don't get to the major leagues without confidence, but success certainly breeds some of that. When you take it to the All-Star level, how good do you feel? And you're looking around that locker room. Did you ever get to, geez, I'm here? Who were the stars? You mentioned Halladay and
Cole
Hamels.
So Pujols was in there.
That was 2011?
2011. The amount of players that were in there. So Pujols was one that I always was like, yeah, that's my guy. That's the guy that I always want to talk to, and I was always able to talk to him. But it's just when you kind of go around and you look at the type of players that are in there.
Got the list. Scott Rowland, Carlos Beltran, Lance Berkman. I'm looking at the hitters here.
The older players. And just kind of
Votto was there.
I remember, like, I was hanging out with Andrew McCutchen because we were in the last group of hitting. all the bigger guys, they hit in the first couple of groups, and then the last group, I'm over here hitting with Andrew McCutchen, who played against him. He was a Florida guy. Being able to talk with him and kind of just mess around, like it was.
Ricky Weeks.
Ricky Weeks was in there too.
Florida guy.
Yep.
Swing and a miss by Manzardo, 3-2 now.
But you sit down in the clubhouse and you start to look around, and you've already talked about some of the names that when I was kind of in high school, those guys were already doing it.
Prince Fielder was on that team with you. Matt Halladay.
Oh no, I have signature on the jersey with
Heath
all these
Bell,
guys.
former Marlin, was on the pitching staff. That's fouled back. Not to mention, you mentioned Kershaw earlier, Craig Kimbrell. So for Otto Lopez now and Max Meyer, they walk in that locker room. Hey, now you're an all-star.
Yeah, you made it. You're there.
As Smash Mouth used to say.
They can never take that away from you, and you're going to get it. And they end up getting a ring. So you have your all-star ring, so a little memento that you're able to take with you.
Another high pop-up. Long way to go, and Hernandez makes the catch. So the Derby's going to have some altered rules this year. As you look at the participants, this is great to see that Schwarber and Harper, veterans, said, yes, it's in Philadelphia. The fans want to see this, and we're going to do it. That is awesome.
What I wanted them to do, though, was have, Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper where you couldn't see him, and then all of a sudden they'll take it off and say, we're the last two guys that nobody knew about.
That's because you're a wrestling fan. You want to see that mask on there.
Who's
this guy? Parts unknown.
I wanted to be where all of a sudden that stadium would just erupt when those two guys would just take it off because nobody knew who was going to be those last two.
Khalil Watson is 0 for 2 in the game. It's a 3-1 Cleveland lead here in the 5th. Good changeup, and it's 1-1. Two-one count. The new format has ditched the timer for the home run derby and outs in favor of a set number of swings now per round. They'll have 20 swings in round 1, 15 swings in round 2 in the finals. We'll see how that plays out. They've tweaked the format over the years, and it's always been a fun event. Look at this guy, that pug enjoying. Well, the ball game's the other way.
He was looking at the camera. Smart. Follow the camera.
Well, he saw Jonah get all this attention. There's a swing and a miss, 3-2. And a ground ball up the middle. That will be a base hit. Edwards could not get over there. He was shaded toward first base. And Watson has his second hit of the series.
A slider. A good pitch. Watson just stays on it enough to get it out of the reach of Edwards at second base. I thought for a second there that Edwards was going to be able to make this one, but he knew he wasn't going to be able to. Ends up getting away from it, going back to second.
And now Brad LaRosa, the Marlins trainer, is coming out. Talk to Michael Peterson. Along with Clayton McCullough. Kate Gibson quickly warming up. And it looks like he said go to get Gibby.
I don't know if he was touching his hamstring or where.
No, you just hope from the look of things that it's not serious. The Marlins will have a few days off, but Peterson has been such an important part of the bullpen. And for the most part, the Marlins have fought off that injury bug. So we'll take a break here with 2 outs in the top of the 5th. 3-1. Cleveland. Hey, buddy.
Cantina menu.
Marlins baseball is presented by Doral Kia, home of the Price Ito, and by the Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card. Earn a limited 2% cash rewards on purchases. Terms apply. Michael Peterson exits after meeting with Marlins trainer Brad LaRosa. That was after that ground ball base hit by Watson.
Yeah, it just looked like when he came down, he wanted to move to see if he can make a play on that. And you can see him just grabbing his right hamstring. And at this point, you're not going to take a chance here. Even if he said, you know what, now I can play, it's just a little, grab me just a little bit. No, no, no. You are too valuable for this team. Let's get you out. Rest you for the All-Star break. Hopefully it's nothing more than that.
Daniel Moskis, the pitching coach, Clayton McCullough. So Cade Gibson is in. Cade went 1 inning last night. Allowed no hits, no walks, struck out 2, pitched in the 7th inning. 18th appearance of the year for Cade. And he'll face Gabby Arias, ironically, the lone right-hand hitter in the lineup.
Arias wanted to challenge it and decided not to. He would have won that challenge too. I feel like that ball was in off the plate.
Runner goes, and Navarrete loses the handle. Well, the Guardians have done a good job stealing bases in this series.
Yeah, against two guys that usually you don't try to steal bases on. But again, they're not stealing off the catcher. When you're stealing bases, it's straight off the pitcher. And for Gibson, as soon as he went up, he was off and running. That's called first move stealing. As soon as you see that foot start to go, that's your cue to leave. And if they pick over, you're going to be out. But if they go home, it's going to be an easy steal.
Marlins know all about Khalil Watson's speed. That's one of the reasons they selected him in 2021. He's got 8 steals here in short time. He was only called up June 17th.
Well, I remember when he got drafted, I had the Marlins All Access show, and I got to interview Khalil Watson. What he told me was, when I get to the big leagues, I want to steal 70 bases. And I said, you just got drafted out of high school. 70 bases, jeez.
Well, he is more than 10% there. And he hasn't played, even a month yet.
Yeah, no.
So his projections are right on.
It's what he uses, right? And by the way, when he said it, it was before they went to the big bases. So it was the regular bases.
11th game. And he's got 8 steals. He might have undersold you, Gabby. 2-2 pitch, got him. Big strikeout there on the sweeper. Guardians do get a run, lead 3-1, middle of the 5th. Help us celebrate our very own Gold Glove utility player, Javier Sanoa, on Sunday, July 26th at 1:40 p.m. As the Fightin' Fish take on the Padres, the first 10,000 fans will take home a Marlins Javier Sanoa Gold Glove bobblehead presented by Leon. Get your tickets at marlins.com/tickets. Bottom of the 5th, here's Otto Lopez. Otto Lopez is 0 for 9 in the series. He has not gone 3 consecutive games the entire season without getting at least 1 hit. Average still a healthy 337. Now, he's just been off. As have the Marlins offense against this Cleveland staff.
Just a tick off, especially on off-speed pitches. When Otto is going really well, he's really thinking right side with the fastball. It's not even right center. It almost looks like right field with the fastball to be able to stay on changeup, sliders, and curveballs. And he's usually pulling those curveballs down that left field line.
Missed that curveball. Cantillo has been an artist, as has the Cleveland starting staff here in this 3-game win streak. And he got him on the curveball. They tag him out, so it's a strikeout. Each starter has gone 6+ innings in this win streak for the Guardians.
And here's the other thing, too. Against Lopez, they're not throwing him a fastball. They're saying, well, here's a curveball, here's a changeup. They're just going off of the secondary pitches. And if you're going to chase, they're going to keep throwing it. Right, so you have to make an adjustment. So Marlins right now making the adjustment. If you throw me off-speed pitches, I'm going to take them. I'm going to look for that fastball. I'm going to be ready for that fastball.
And Roberto Hernandez takes a strike. Here's the Toyota trend. When you look at extra base hits since July 1st in the big leagues, he leads the way.
And Lopez right there.
Lopez 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts today. Cleveland pitching staff in this now 3+ game win streak going into this, the 4th game. Each starter has pitched, not including Cantillo yet, 6 innings, and they've allowed a total, including Cantillo, of 5 runs, ERA under 2. And that's how they win.
That's how they win. they win by pitching and bullpen. They're not going to outslug you. If they're winning games, it's going to be the 3-1, 3-2 ball games. They're not winning these crazy games that are 7, 8 runs and they're able to come back.
Carl Willis, their pitching coach, this is their 97th game. Now this makes it a little easier on the pitching coach. And there's strike 3 called, that time on the fastball. And that's the problem. We've been talking change curve, and then he rides that 4-seam fastball in there for the strikeout.
And remember, too, that one was 94 miles an hour. So that one had a little extra giddy up. Why? Because he threw so many off speed. Now he's also getting off at 7 feet 2 inches of extension. So that ball is getting on you extremely quick. So that 94 is going to act more like a 96 mile an hour fastball of what the eyes will tell you. Because all of a sudden, by the time you go swing, you're going, man, that ball's getting on me quick.
Liam Hicks, a count of 1-0. There is action finally in the Guardians bullpen. Franco Alemán is up and loosening. Jeremy?
Yeah, guys, we saw Michael Peterson come out of the game last inning. He was removed from today's game due to right hamstring tightness, according to the Marlins. So just tightness thus far for Peterson.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, that's a lot better news. Tightness right now, of course, they're going to probably reevaluate, but that's the smart move. Get him out. There's no reason to leave him in this ball game. You need him for the rest of the way.
Cantillo has matched the season high here with 9 strikeouts. This is the 4th time this year he's had 9 strikeouts. He has 105 on the year. But he walks Hicks there with 2 outs.
You talk about it too. 5 of those 9 have come off the changeup. 2 off the curveball and 2 off the fastball. So that's been that changeup, that Vulcan changeup that's gotten a lot of swing and misses for him.
In front of the mound, throw is close play at the first base, but Cantillo makes it. Cleveland's D outstanding in the series.
Introduce.
Guardians leading the Marlins 3-1, top of the 6th, and it's time for our youth player of the game. Here he is, Sebastian. 11-year-old, plays for the LA Dodgers of the Miami Youth Baseball Association, loves to be active, drawing, and jiu-jitsu. His favorite Marlin, Kyle Stowers, and he wants to be a baseball player when he grows up.
Oh, it looks like Sebastian's a lefty the way he's gripping that baseball. So good guy to follow in Kyle Stowers.
And to know if you're going up in jiu-jitsu against him that he's left-handed.
How about you just run away? That's what you do.
That's probably a better thought. All right, top 6 we go. Cade Gibson a little wild there on that first pitch. He came in after Peterson left, as you heard, with the hamstring tightness in the 5th inning. He got Arias. But the Guardians continue to lead. The Marlins have not had the lead in this series. They've had chances to have the lead. Game yesterday looked like they were going to have the lead. Unfortunately, Stowers, on a great play by Kwan, got thrown out at second, rounding the base before Lopez hit home plate.
Yeah, I mean, Craig, you can go back to that 2nd inning. Marlins had bases loaded with no outs, couldn't convert into any runs on that one. So the Marlins have had their chances with guys on base to really open it up. They just haven't been able to get that big hit yet.
Hicks had what looked to be a double, as you see the walk to Halpin, and the ball hit off the wall, and he stumbled around the base at first and was thrown out at second on a great play. The Cleveland Guardians have an outstanding defense. They do all those little things we've been talking about in the series, and they're trying to take it to a series sweep. Last time they won 4 or more consecutively was when they won 7 in a row, including a sweep in Detroit, a 4-game series earlier this year. Patrick Bailey 1 for 2 in the game, shows bunt again, pulls back, and it's 1-1. The Guardians will have their All-Star break, and then they will start in nearby Pittsburgh. Actually, they'll be home for Pittsburgh and Minnesota, a 7-game homestand before going to Tampa Bay and Cincinnati. Good bunt by Bailey, very good bunt. Gibson has to handle with his hand, throws him out.
Yeah, very nice play by Gibson, too, on the mound to get off. Remember, he's a lefty, so he's going to fall towards that third base side. Being able to get over, not only that, barehand that play and get it over to Hicks.
And that's a tricky spot, as you know, as a first baseman. Who's going to field it? It's right in between. That's a lot of range for Gibson.
And not only that, Edwards was there. But if Gibson can make the play, they always tell the pitcher, if you're going to be able to make the play, unless you're going to have to, get way out of the way to try to make it because it's going to be tough for a second baseman to come in and make that one.
A lot of times you see the first baseman go over there too, and Hicks was very wise to read the play and stay at first.
Stay first, yeah. Because a lot of times you're right. First base will vacate to go get it themselves, and now you have the first baseman, the pitcher, and the second baseman converging onto one ball. Nobody at first.
2-0 count on Stephen Kwan, who has been a pain for the Marlins in this series. Good for Stephen, though. He's had a hit in each game. 2 here in this ball game. He's 4 for 9. Driven his average up to 226. He's a good hitter. He's had a rough year, but as Gabby mentioned, he's been coming on since June. Career never hit below 268. Now you heard the Cleveland bench say that's a balk. The umpires agree, and Halpin will go to third.
And Marlins aren't even going to fight it. That's what it is. He never got around. You see where that front foot planted. Never broke second, so you got to be able to step off or get all the way around.
Good sweeper, 2-2. Looked like he was starting the motion to the plate.
Yeah, well, you start when he was coming up, but when he landed, he was still in front of the rubber. You have to be able to get all the way off, and he was not able to do that. That's why the Marlins didn't even fight it. They said, yep, we saw it too.
Infield in here on a 2-2 to Stephen Kwan. Right to the shortstop. And a liner grabbed, and that'll end the inning. Good job by Gibson to get out of it. 3-1 Cleveland. Marlins fans, don't miss our All-Star sale. Score 50% off Marlins.tv and stream the rest of the season for only $27.99. This limited time offer ends soon. Sign up now, Marlins.tv. Well, the good news is the day is over for Joey Cantillo. 5 innings, 6 hits, allowed only 1 run, 2 walks, and 9 strikeouts. And that's good for the Marlins because they couldn't really muster much against him. They get a right-hander. That also would benefit the Marlins, and Franco Aleman is in.
Yeah, with Aleman, look, the Marlins did face him in yesterday's ball game. Now, what's going to make this very interesting is what Clayton's going to do off the bench with the righty up. Aleman's really good, too. It's a 3-pitch mix, a 4-seam fastball, slider, and a changeup. That fastball, yeah, it's going to be in the upper 90s. You should see some in that 97, 98 range.
It's a strike call there. No challenge. Each team has 2 remaining. Marlins will go to some of their left-handed hitters here in this inning. Aleman missing 2-1. This is the benefit. Plus, the Guardians have only 1 lefty. With Tim Herron down, he went on the IL on Thursday, so Eric Saprowski is the lone lefty, and that allows the Marlins to pull off, and some of their sluggers are on the bench. The entire group pop up to left field. That'll be handled. Oh, he make the catch. Now a message from WHG.
Winning doesn't just happen by accident. At WHG, we know every case is earned before you ever step inside the courtroom. WHG, preparation wins.
Well, the Marlins with Conine, Mack, Marcy, and Stowers, their left-handed hitting core on the bench. And our first look at Kyle Stowers here, batting for Leo Jimenez.
And the Marlins kind of realized that they were just waiting for the lefty to get out because they were going to put in all their lefties once a right-hander came up. That's Marcy, who's going to be hitting for Ruiz. So the thought process was see where that lefty is going to take you, and then all of a sudden towards the end of the game, you'll bring in the regular starters.
Marlins almost dare you to bring that right-hander in. It's a little easier to do when you only have one lefty in the bullpen. Cantillo matching his season high with 9 strikeouts today.
Yeah, the Marlins are saying, well, good that he's not here anymore because, boy, he was really good on the mound. The 9 strikeouts, 4 on the changeup, 3 on the curveball. So 7 of the 9 with his secondary pitches.
Big cut and a miss by Stowers on the 4-seam fastball. Good steam from Aliman, and he gets the strikeout, 98 miles an hour.
Yeah, we talked about it. He's got a really good arm, really good secondary pitches. And it's kind of funky, too, because he'll hide it. You can see that little turn before he delivers that baseball.
Whippy.
It's a very whippy arm. Ball's going to have natural arm side run, so it's going to go away from the lefties into a righty.
Jacob Marcy pinch hitting for Esteury Ruiz. Slider inside, 1-0 on Jacob Marcy. He's going into the break on a nice run. Try and keep that going in the second half. He's hitting 6 of 8 games. High pop up here. And the shortstop, Rocchio, handles it. 1-2-3 inning for Aliman. We go to the 7th.
Kevin Hart here to tell you all about...
Be sure to stay tuned to the 7th inning for the stretch presented by Celsius Energy Drinks. Welcome back as we go to the top of the 7th inning with the Guardians leading 3-1, trying to pull off the sweep. Marlins with some defensive changes. Javier Sanoa will go over to third base with Jimenez out. Kyle Stowers into right field. And Jacob Marcy in center. And that catch him? Yes, sir. Bazana is on base.
Yeah, looks like it may have caught him in the hand. They do have that hand guard, right on the forearm. But now they have so many protections. You got the hand protection, you got the elbow.
You sound jealous.
Sometimes it was nice to feel the pain. They had just finished coming out with the hand one. And I remember I put it on for 1BP and I was like, yeah, that you got to get used to this one.
Weight.
Yeah, it was just weird.
Rocchio 2 for 3. He's had a good game. He's had a good series. 5 for 12. Has a homer in this game, 2 RBIs. I think you could say, Gabby, that the Guardians, and you really can't say this much, certainly in the last 6-7 weeks, have imposed their will on the Marlins in this series. It's been their series. It's been their kind of game.
They've gotten out to the lead every single game. And really, it's where they've been winning games, right? Pitching, bullpen, and that's exactly what they've been able to do. Cutting down the chances that the Marlins have had. The Marlins have had in this series a lot of chances to be able to score a bunch of runs.
Yeah, it's been blowout. Every game they've had a chance to win the game. The first game, 3-2. They lost 4-1 yesterday, but again, the Guardians scored 2 in the 8th inning.
Yeah.
Marlins had opportunities, and certainly in this game, it's only a 3-1 game. That's belted to left, coming in on the dive and making the grab is Hernandez. He was deep in left field. Nice catch by Heriberto.
Yeah, making the nice sliding grab on his backside. A low line drive. Leaves the bat at 96 miles an hour, and you're right, he was playing extremely deep, coming in to make this play. Very nicely done.
And that would have been trouble if it got by Hernandez with a runner on. So here's Chase DeLauder. He's 0 for 3. Lozano had his 13th stolen base in the first inning. Hernandez again, this one a little easier. 2 outs. Let's go down to Jeremy.
Thanks, guys. Let's check out the Ocean Bank Prospect Spotlight and check out Dylan Head. He's been up with the High A Beloit Skycarp and has been absolutely crushing it over the last month. Last night, 3 for 4 with a home run and a double. And remember, he's a top 30 prospect for the Marlins and the other outfield prospect acquired in the Jacob Marcy trade. So just more talent in that Marlins system.
Thank you, Jeremy. Kyle Manzardo is up. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI. Guardians scored 2 in the first. Added another run in the 5th on the Rocchio homer. Marlins' lone run came in the 3rd. In these 3-1 leads, they feel like a bigger gap. Line drive off the glove of Edwards and goes into right center. That'll put first and third. Edwards jumped.
Oh, boy, I thought he had it, too.
And I think he thought he had it, and somehow it went off his glove.
Yeah, I was trying to think because he went up early. He knew that he had it. It was right there. Ball came off the bat at 100 miles an hour. I don't know if maybe that ball hit him on the tip of the glove or in the palm of the glove. Yeah, it looked like he just didn't get the glove to where it needed to go.
And as a result, Cade Gibson is going to leave the ball game in favor of Lake Bacher. That's kind of how the series has went here so far for the Fish. 3-1 Cleveland. 2 outs here in the 7th.
You might think you're looking at Taco.
Copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Miami Marlins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Miami Marlins. Beautiful look at downtown Miami as Lake Bacher comes in this 2-run ball game with first and third. They did score that in error on Xavier Edwards.
And you know what? I think that if you would ask Xavier Edwards, he would probably say, you know what, that is an error. I need to make that play. Ball goes in and out of my glove. I need to be able to secure it.
Khalil Watson is the batter. 1-1. Lake Bacher is the new pitcher here for the Marlins. Ground ball off the glove, and Khalil Watson is just too fast, and that'll cost the Marlins a run. An infield single for Watson, scoring Bazana.
Well, that's a heartbreaker one too, because Bacher got exactly what he wanted. Soft contact back at him, just could not come up with the play. Those are ones, too, where you might even tell the pitcher, just stay out of it. Let your infielders make the play. The ball just tipping up. He's able to slow it up just enough And there it is, in and out. He thought he had it the whole way through, too.
So back-to-back hitters with the shots off the Marlin glove. That obviously was hit much softer, but still for the pitcher, it comes at you quickly. Watson's a speedy runner, too. Gabby Arias is up, cut and a miss. Again, we've seen a bunch of these. They're frustrating plays here for the Fish here in this series. Here's a strike. And the other thing is just watching this run of baseball since June 1st, you can't even recall one or two in a game over this run. It seemed to make almost every play. The defense has been outstanding, and no matter what happens even today, the Marlins have put themselves in excellent position for the second half. Ground ball hit off the leg. That is a dead ball.
Yeah, but there's something to be said. They lose this game. It was a 500 homestand, right? Not the worst. But again, once you sweep a team and all of a sudden you're able to have a homestand where you can have a positive homestand, that's what you're looking for.
No doubt.
I mean, still time left in this ball game. You have 3 innings to be able to come back here, and the Marlins have been known, especially in this stretch, to be able to put up a lot of runs in a hurry. But then you start to go back and you look at the game and you look at certain situations of where the Marlins were, and it's a different story where you're like, man, this could have been a different outcome.
Got him there. Inning over. The Guardians do get a run, lead 4-1. And on this Sunday afternoon, we pause for the playing here of God Bless America at Lone Depot Park.
Fans, at this time we ask those who are able to please remove your caps. Now singing God Bless America, Chantel Ruiz.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Fans, let's hear it.
Great job, Chantel. Now we head to the stretch presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Welcome to the stretch presented by Celsius Energy Drinks as the Marlins trail the Cleveland Guardians 4-1, but still plenty of time. If you've watched the Fighting Fish, especially at home all season long, you know there's a comeback in them. In fact, the Marlins right now are tied for the most home wins in the National League with 31. It's been a fantastic first half for the Fish. Here are some of the great highlights from the first half of the baseball season.
How about those Marlins playing some great baseball right now?
Hey, Miami, what do you say? The Marlins are going to win today. 13th career complete game. What a start for Sandy Alcantara this season.
They're so scrappy.
These guys are running hard. They busted on every play. But on the field, the Marlins are a different story.
Diving grab late. Ruby's got it. What a night for Marcy in center.
Xavier Edwards, Otto Lopez. These 2 guys should both be all-stars.
Watching all these games being won, we've seen them done in different fashion.
Gonna tag the runner, and the ball game is gonna be over. Ball throw gets away. Marlins win.
8 runs here in the 10th inning. The Marlins up by so much. I'm calling it.
Go ahead and call it right now. Grand slam. It's the Marlins who are the kings of Queens.
And how about the Marlins in June?
The best team in baseball this month.
This team is rolling right now.
Stowers again! And the Boo Birds are out.
And the starters, led by Meyer, have been tremendous.
Got him!
He is mowing guys down here today.
He struck him out. Sandy Alcantara stands alone as Miami's all-time new strikeout leader. This is a lot of fun. And
we'll be back to Marlins baseball after a quick word from our friends at Celsius.
All right, here we go. Bottom of the 7th. Pinch hitters. First, Griffin Conine against the new pitcher, Hunter Gaddis. A big 34-year-old right-hander, 6'6", 260 from Canton, Georgia, in his 5th major league season.
And with Gaddis on the mound, loves to throw that slider. Will throw the slider about 48% of the time. Has a good fastball to go along with it. Throw the fastball right there in the mid-90s. And he also throws a changeup. Basically, those 3 pitches that you'll see if you're a hitter.
There's the change, and it's 2-2 on Griff. Griff pinch hitting for Reese Hines, who went 0 for 2. Joe Mack is on deck to pinch hit for Brian Navarretto, and this will tie a Marlins franchise record with 4 consecutive pinch hitters. Got him on the changeup. Stowers and Marcy ended the 6th inning pinch hitting.
It's the hardest thing to do in baseball. Come off that bench, especially against a bullpen like the Guardians. They have really good arms, really great secondary pitches. You can do all the work, all the stuff inside of the cage, but boy, it's a little bit different when you're going out there and you're having to ask to try to warm yourself up to get a base hit.
Slider by Gaddis over for a strike to Joe Mack. Takes that one outside. When rookies are called up, I'm not sure if this happened with you, Gabby, where you kind of just given a number. And in Mack's case, he got number 80. It's not something you talk about or get into or even have any leverage on. Swing and a miss, but next year.
Spring training, you go to spring training, they'll tell you, okay, now we have these numbers available for you. Which one do you like?
I asked Mack what his numbers would be, so he said he likes 34, but Hicks has that one. So unless he wants to pay for that.
Even paying, you ain't getting that one.
But you know what? He likes number 13.
Oh, okay.
Which is an unusual number. Of course, made famous by Dan Marino here in South Florida in a different sport. But obviously A-Rod most famously, but that might be a number you'll see next year. But that's something that's usually discussed in the offseason when you're kind of solidified yourself. Do you remember, did you get, some people don't even remember the number they got.
I was 29.
Not bad.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Getting called up, and here's number 29. I said, oh, thanks.
Oh, that hit Joe Mack.
The toe. Boy, that hurts.
Oof.
He's been
as if he doesn't get it enough as a catcher.
My goodness, he has been getting beat up all series long. You come into a ball game to pinch hit, and it just seems like the ball's going to find you. My goodness. Hey, this is a tough kid.
Brad LaRosa is the Marlins trainer with Clayton McCullough.
He's in some pain right now. It was a slider, but still, it's where you get hit.
Tell that to your toe.
Yeah, it's where you get hit. When you get hit right in the toe.
Oh. There's really not much padding in those cleats, right?
No.
See where it got him. Oh, step.
Right on the big toe, the back foot.
Yep. Gomack is not at first base yet.
He's still, they're trying to get him to kind of do a little bit of motion just to see how that strength feels, how's that toe. The problem is that it takes a couple of minutes to kind of, one, get that feeling back, but then when you start to get that feeling back, it feels like there's blood in there, like it feels like it's a balloon. It just hurts. And then after a little bit, once you start to get it moving, that pain will start to subside. Now, you're still going to feel it. It's not like it just goes away, but it's manageable.
Looks like Joe's going to be okay, but they are still looking at him, so we'll see. This is a long period of time, and Bill Miller, the crew chief, who's umpiring first, kind of swings by, but there's some professional courtesy here on an injury.
And you can see him just kind of get that feeling back in the toe.
You can see there's really not much
there's nothing
protection at all. It's almost like a, it's a nice sneaker with cleats on it. A little heavier leather, perhaps.
Just take your time.
Umpires are saying we got getaway day.
Yeah, but you got to protect the players.
Absolutely. Joe Mack working it off, so he's on base with one out.
He needed to get into a cold tub anyways today, so there you go. Now there's a bigger reason. Poor guy's just been getting beat up all series long.
Nice day off from starting, and he comes in here, but it's a 4-1 game. A chance here for Miami, one out and one on. Let's go down to Jeremy.
Thanks, Craig. I chatted with Otto about his first half for an episode of Talking with Taché here on Marlins.tv, and he told me he and his wife sit down every offseason and write down goals. One of the main ones right at the top was to be an all-star this year. So when he called her after he got the news, she just said, okay, we can check that one off the list. He's keeping the rest under wraps, but said he wants to make the playoffs. That's the main one he could share.
Oh, good play there by Gaddis. Thank you, Jeremy. Came off the mound, a hop throw, and he knew he had to fire it quickly to get Otto, who's 0 for 4.
Gaddis with the jump throw. This looked like it was going to be a swinging bunt, and Gaddis jump throw without looking makes the throw over to first. And correct, they do say that pitchers aren't athletes, but, well, Gaddis said, how about this play?
Jeff Nelson's going to save that for his clip when anybody brings it up.
He says, yeah, how about this?
Watch Gaddis. He's 6'6", 260. Here's Hernandez. Roberto is 1 for 3, had a double in the third inning. That's inside, 1-1. Good fastball, but it's up high out of the zone, and it's 2-1.
See if the Marlins can get something rolling here with 2 outs.
Marlins in the series, Gabby, 3 for 17 with runners in scoring position, including 1 for 6 today.
And one of those hits, remember, too, Stowers got thrown out at second, so you didn't even get an RBI for it. But this would be a big situation here if Hernandez is able to come through, get a big 2-out RBI. All of a sudden, now you're a bloop and a blast away from tying the game.
Marlins have just 4 runs in the series, but this offense came in very hot. Swing and a miss, 3-2, 36 homers last 22 games. 18 in the 8 prior. Hopefully that's something that they can continue to develop in the second half. Not a team that leans on the long ball, but it's nice.
It's been producing
and there's some power in the lineup. There's no question about it. Including this guy who's time for the team lead with 13 home runs with the guy on deck and Liam Hicks. Out straight back. Good swing. Roberto was hitting 149 before play on May the 9th. And since then, coming into the game, 280 with 13 homers, including 5 homers in his last 9 games. Missed that one, though, on the four-seamer. And the inning is over. We'll go to the 8th, 4-1 Cleveland. You can celebrate our 2003 World Series champion shortstop. Take home limited edition Alex Gonzalez collector's bid with special ticket package that includes a seat on the Legends level. Don't miss the Legends Pin Series, Saturday, July 25th at 4 o'clock. Get tickets today at marlins.com/pin series. Last reminder probably of the up the middle the Marlins are seeing this year. A little different style would be Gonzalez and Castillo.
Yeah.
Both great defenders, gold glove type defenders, both with some pop in different ways. Alex could hit the ball out. Louis obviously an average guy.
He's very similar.
Great speed.
To those two guys.
It is.
Like Louis Castillo getting on base, you know, being able to smack the ball around, kind of that Edwards feel. Gonzalez had some pop. You know, a guy that goes from line to line. Lopez has that kind of feel too. It's fun when you kind of put those two together.
You always hear about building teams up the middle, the catcher, guys up the middle in the infield, and the center fielder. And there is a softly hit, but well-placed base hit by Petey Halpin to lead off the 8th inning off Lake Bacher.
You talk about soft, the exit velo on this one. 73 miles an hour off the end of the bat. This is something, though, we've been seeing all series long. It's just hitting it in the perfect spot.
Halpin is a threat to run. Joe Mack is in there. Catching. That's a good sign. High pop up. So Noah lost sight of it and now picks it up. Lost his hat, too. As he moved over to third base, makes the catch.
He didn't like his hat. He said, get out of here. When he went to go up, he just hit it off.
Knocked it off.
Yeah, by accident.
That could create a problem with the hat and trying to pick up the baseball.
I've been there, done that. God, man, it's nice to see those Florida hats back.
With that hat, that great logo. Stephen Kwan is up. Takes a strike. He is 2 for 3 in this ball game, 4 for 10 in the series. He's going to challenge, and he is correct. So that is an overturn. Cleveland will maintain their 2 challenges, and it's 1-0. When you're going good, it seems like everything goes right. The calls, the challenges.
Well, he's seeing the ball a lot better. So he knows the strike zone. He's always known the strike zone. What about a guy that was a 2-year All-Star?
And now Joe Mack's going to challenge.
Oh, man. That's not missing by much.
0.2 inches. The Marlins had 2 challenges, so not a bad idea there for Joe Mack.
You're in the 8th inning. You got a guy on first base. If you can get the count to 1-1, better than 2-0. I don't mind that.
They could have split the difference if we'd be at 1-1, but that's not the case. There's a strike, 2-1.
Boy, there's no hitters counts anymore, is there? 2-0 count. Here's a nasty slider down and in right on the corner. Have fun.
The Guardians, the least slugging percentage in the league. 29th in average. They have come in and been opportunistic, pesky.
Oh, boy.
That one got away from Hicks, but it hit Halpin. Oh. And unfortunately for the Marlins, that would have wound up in right field. Of course, you don't want to see a player get hit.
Yeah, hit him right in the knee.
You could see that Sandy Alomar Jr. pointing to where it caught Petey Halpin.
Man, here it is. I mean, missed completely.
Oh.
And that was straight on a line to the knee that was in the air on Halpin.
And hopefully he can't read lips. There's the pain for Halpin, so the training staff's out. It's very popular now on, what is it, John Boy does a great job.
That's an easy one.
I saw one of the managers now covering his mouth.
He covered his mouth
in
says,
an
I don't
argument.
want him to do it.
That takes away from the argument a little bit. Kind of muffle.
I think it was enough up to be able to do it.
Thought I heard the umpire say, what? Halpin's going to be okay. Stephen Vogt has a laugh. It's been a good series, obviously, for Cleveland.
Maybe that will slow him down, though. Now he won't take the extra base.
Count of 2-1 on Kwan. White Sox are leading their game today 9-1 over the Athletics. If this score holds, those two teams will be tied for first going into the All-Star break, the Guardians and the White Sox. Marlins hope to have something to say about that. Big jump. Mack, quick release. Can't get him. He had that running start. We've seen the Marlins working on this the last few years.
And here's the thing. I mean, this is just timing up Bacher here. This is, he's going about 1 second, 2 seconds, and he's taking off. So once you get there at that 1 second, guys are starting to make that move. So you got to be able to change up that rhythm. If not, guys are going to steal bases on you. Big strikeout there.
Big strikeout on the 3-2 curve. You'll get Stephen Kwan for the second out. Marlins TV post-game show coming up with Craig Mish and Rod Allen. Hopefully talking about a Marlins comeback.
Yeah.
Travis Bazzano, the rookie who will be heading to the All-Star game, is 0 for 2. He has scored a couple of runs.
Yeah, we talked about Edwards and making the All-Star game, playing at second base, and you kind of put his numbers with Bassano's numbers, and you're saying, who should be the one? But one's in the American League, one's in the National League, right? So it's two different leagues.
Bazzano, the fourth Australian-born player to be named an All-Star, joining Grant Balfour in 2013, Liam Hendricks, and outfielder Dave Nilsson. Dave Nilsson, 1999, was Bazzano's manager for Australia at the 2026 WBC. Hendricks, a 3-time All-Star. Baseball more global than ever.
It is. That's a good thing.
One, two, he offered, yes, he went after it, strike 3. Inning over. Marlins have 2 more licks at the Guardians. They trail 4-1. Welcome back after the All-Star break. Bernie Brewer and his Milwaukee buddies will be hosting the Miami Marlins Friday to Sunday in Milwaukee, and then the indoor baseball most likely will continue, although they like to open it up in Milwaukee, barring rain, Monday through Wednesday in Houston, where they don't open it up this time of year. Against the Astros, 6 games to start off the second half of the season. Brew Crew have had a terrific first half, leading their division with a record of 59-37. That is the second best mark in the National League. They have a 5.5 game lead over the Cubbies. Astros, you look at it 2 different ways. They're 3 games under 500, but they're only 2 games out of first place. New pitcher is Sean Armstrong. We saw him last night come into the ball game, and he gave up an RBI hit to Liam Hicks, his first hitter. He faces Hicks here. High pop-up. Arias. One away.
Yeah, the Marlins did see Armstrong, just like you mentioned yesterday. It's a four-seam sweeper, cutter, sinker mix. Likes to utilize that four-seam fastball and the sweeper and cutter together. The sinker really only throws that against left-handed hitters.
X-Man 2 for 3. He'll go to the break with an 8-game hitting streak. Gets out of the way of that pitch.
Be nice for Xavier Edwards here to get himself on, get something moving here for the Marlins. Talk about it. Kind of running out of outs, 5 outs left in this ball game to at least get 3.
304 average. He is now tied with Troy Johnston, former Marlin with the Rockies, for 5th in the National League. Otto Lopez continues to lead, but the lead has dwindled. He had a 21-point lead only a few days ago on a rise. It's now 3 points.
Yeah,
a rise of 332. Otto at 335.
Been a rough 3-game stretch here so far for Otto. Hasn't gotten a hit in the series. But again, we talked about this Guardians team, very good on the mound. That is what they're known for. That is what is helping them win ball games.
Count of 1-2 on Xavier Edwards in the bottom of the 8th. Guardians with 2 in the 1st. Marlins got 1 back, but have not had the lead in the series. You look at the most hits. Lopez will go into the break with a comfortable lead in that department. Got certainly with a good second half, a shot at 200.
I believe so. It's fun too when you see Xavier Edwards, the different bats that he uses from the left side. From the left side, he used that axe grip handle. From the right side, he uses the regular handle. And I asked him about it. I said, why the difference? He goes, it feels better in my hand when I'm swinging from the left side, having that axe handle grip. And from the right side, doesn't feel good at all. So the other, regular bat feels good. So he said, I started to do it, and all of a sudden the numbers went up.
2-2 pitch is outside. What's the difference holding the axe handle? Have you ever, I don't know if you've had one yourself. I don't believe you did, but.
I didn't. They had just finished coming out with it, but it's almost like if you're holding a regular axe and the way that it just situates in your hand.
Driven to center field. Alpin is there, makes the catch. What number were you with the Pirates? Were you 15 there?
14.
14. You're 15 here?
I was 15 here. I was 14. Then John Buck came, and I gave him 14. Got myself a nice watch. And then I went to 15.
Okay. There's a fan right over the dugout I saw with a Pirates Pittsburgh t-shirt with number 15. But I thought maybe a Sanchez fan, but not the case.
No, I don't think so.
Sanoa
takes still might be a Sanchez fan.
See, right over Sanoa's shoulder there.
Still might be a Sanchez
absolutely.
fan, Craig. Jeez.
Over the Guardians dugout. Ground ball hit to shortstop. Rocchio. 1-2-3. Marlins go down. We go to the 9th. Guardians lead 4-1.
Only at Pizza Hut.
Marlins baseball presented by Mountain Dew. Get a Baja for a blast. And by the Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card. Earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases. Terms apply. All right, top of the 9th. And it's been a Guardians story here. 4-1. They've out-hit the Marlins 10-6. And Pete Fairbanks will come in and pitch the 9th inning. He's the 7th Marlins pitcher on a bullpen day. Now the Marlin pitching staff has held their own in this series. They've only allowed 11 runs in 3 games. Not a lot of extra base hits. There's a strike for Fairbanks. 0-2. He'll be a key factor in the second half for Miami.
Yeah, I mean, I guarantee you that if you ask Clayton McCullough when this series started, hey, they're going to score combined 11 runs or whatever it is in the series, would you take that? And he would say, absolutely, I would, especially the way that the Marlins were swinging the bat.
Averaging 7 runs during that win streak.
Yeah. Unfortunately, though, it happens. It's baseball, right? You're going to have series where everything seems to be going your way. You're going to have series where balls get hit. And then you're going to have series like this where it just seems like anything that you do put in play is going to be an out.
Ryan Rocchio is 2 for 4, a homer, a single, 2 RBIs. He's had a very good series defensively, offensively. Liner to center, good jump. Oh, wow. Jacob Marcy, outstanding jump. And he steals a hit from Rocchio.
That's first step. That's what made the play. Marcy really good out there, but first step, look at him, just attacking that ball quickly, getting over, making the dive, and making the play. That's an outstanding play by Jacob Marcy in center.
Here's Chase DeLauder, 0 for 4. Count of 2-0 on DeLauder. The DH here for the Guardians today. Good slider there from Fairbanks, 2-1. That ball is tattooed into the upper deck. Chase DeLauder with his 2nd home run of the series, number 11 on the year. "5-1 Cleveland." They've been able to add on to their early lead.
Oh, I'll tell you this, DeLauder, that's the 2nd home run, and basically the same exact spot. Same exact pitch. It's going to be a fastball. It's going to be middle, in, and down. And he has shown that if you throw it there, he's going to hit it a long way. Almost 110 miles an hour off the bat.
435 feet for DeLauder as Manzardo steps in. Kyle 1 for 3 in the game, 2 hits in the series. Ground ball to second. Edwards makes the play. Calling all campers, join us for our next camp day, Wednesday, July 29th at 12:10. The Marlins take on the Phillies. Special group ticket package includes $10 and $15 tickets for campers and guests. Learn more at marlins.com/camp. It's always a fun day. Bring your earplugs. Campers get into it. And a good matchup, too, with the Phillies.
Earplugs. What are you talking about? Enjoy the noise.
Khalil Watson, 2 for 4, has had a good couple of games here. He's 3 for his last 5. getting an opportunity here, trying to show with the injuries to Martinez and Ramirez that he can play at this level.
Well, he can certainly run the bases. We've seen that. Very quick down that first base line.
Tell you anything else in that enlightening interview? 70 stolen bases.
Very confident.
Yeah, we talked to him if you missed earlier after he was drafted.
After the Marlins drafted him, I had Marlins All Access.
Back in 21.
Yep, got to interview me actually here at the stadium in one of the suites. And very, very confident human being. And that was one of the guys, too, that kind of fell in the lap of the Marlins, where he was supposed to be a high pick in the draft, and all of a sudden he kept dropping, and the Marlins were able to get him. Didn't work out for the Marlins, but ends up going to Cleveland. There he is in the big leagues.
A little chatter here with Chad Fairchild, it looked like, and Fairbanks. Two-two count. Marlins made the trade to get Josh Bell August 1st of 23 and dealt Gene Segura and Khalil Watson. And obviously turned out to be a good trade for both teams. Bell helping the Marlins get to the playoffs in 23.
Yeah, that was that Bill and Berger. Great acquisitions in that year. One in Chicago. That was fun.
He won the series. Watson with a drive deep right field. Stowers back, he has room and makes the catch for the third out. A homer by DeLauder, though, puts the Guardians up 5-1 as we go to the bottom of the ninth. Last chance for the Fish.
Boat.
Welcome back, 5-1 Guardians. We go to the bottom of the ninth inning. The Guardians have turned to their best reliever, Cade Smith, the All-Star, who is one save shy of Emmanuel Clase's franchise record of 29 saves before the break. He did that 2 years ago. Smith with 28. And he got number 28 at the expense of the Marlins in game 1 of this series. In that game, it was a 1-run lead. Here he's got a 4-run lead, so actually the save is not in effect. Kyle Stowers will lead off. He'll face a parade of lefties who came in to pinch hit in the 6th and 7th innings for the Marlins. And a liner foul.
And I feel like a new bat is needed. Yep, there he goes. Get the stick, make sure it's exactly what you want. Marlins are going to need 4 here. They're going to need to do it against Smith. Now, this is not a save opportunity, but the Marlins are seeing if they can get something going here.
Trying to muster something. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and he got him on the splitter. Well, Cantillo had 9 strikeouts in the bullpen. Has added 4, so that's 13 whiffs here for the Marlins in this game. Alleman had 1, Gaddis had 2. And here's Jacob Marcy.
I'll tell you what, Cade Smith's got a really good arm. Goes right after guys with that good four-seam fastball, split mix. We'll throw in a sweeper. But look, it's 62% fastball, so he goes right after guys.
Another guy with a Hawaii connection. He actually was born in Vancouver, but was selected by the Twins 16th round 2017 and decided to go to the University of Hawaii instead.
It's not a bad place.
Indians signed him in 2025 after a 5-round draft in 2020, I should say. They'll pop up to left field for the second out. And he leads the majors with his 28 saves, including his remarkable run against lefties, coming in just 159 against them, the lowest clip by a relief pitcher in the AL.
Yeah, again, I mean, against lefties, it's going to be fastballs and splits. But one of the things to kind of look at, you talked about the extension. That fastball's coming in 97, 98, 99 miles an hour. 7 foot 4 feet of extension. Meaning that 97, 98, it's going to look like 100 to hitters, and it gets on you quick.
Griffin Conine came in to pinch hit in the 7th. He struck out then, looking for a hit here to keep it alive. He drives it deep to right field. It's going, gone. Goodbye upstairs. Upper deck shot for Griff. Woo-hoo.
That ball was smashed. Griffin Conine showing it off. My goodness. That's 113 miles an hour off the bat. Gets out in a hurry, hits it 442 feet. My goodness.
And here's Joe Mack. And Mack with a base hit to right field. Well, it said fighting fish on that placard. They've certainly been that in the first half of this baseball season.
And sometimes you just need one big blow, and here it is. Wow. Head over barrel. It's something that he's been working on, pulling the baseball. He told me I need to be able to get the bat head out on fastballs. Well, he certainly did on a fastball that's 97 miles an hour and delivers a homer.
And Otto Lopez gets a chance for a hit here. They're going to actually challenge that. It's another Marlins home run for healthcare presented by Leon Medical Centers. Each Marlins homer this season means a donation to the League Against Cancer, delivering free care in South Florida. And that challenge is incorrect. It was one of those 9th inning shots. It wasn't even close. So it's a 1-0 count on Lopez, who has not gone 3 straight games without a hit. He's 0 for 4 in this series. Runner goes. Defensive indifference on that. What a blast. A 444-foot home run means baseball fans score 2. Unlock your free 20-ounce Baja Blast by registering now at BajaBlastHomeruns.com. 442, the official number. So Otto can get a hit here.
Hey, got to keep it going.
Streak.
Not only that, all of a sudden you get a base knock and you bring the tying run to the plate, and he's fighting fish.
More importantly, 2-1 pitch. There's a good
check
sweeper.
that.
Is he going to check it? Yes. Umpire puts the mic on, announces that to the crowd. And the challenge is a good one. So instead of a 2-2 count, yep, put that green 3 up there, 3-1. Now Otto could be selective, go for his pitch here, knowing his run doesn't mean anything. He takes a good four-seamer, 3-2. The powerful Heriberto Hernandez is on deck if Lopez can reach. Strike 3 called. Otto is going to challenge. The Guardians are pretty confident. Let's see. Yep, that's the ball game. Lopez strikes out 4 times in the game. A tough finish in the final game for him, but a great first half. And that's the story for the Marlins as well. Although they're swept in this series, you didn't see this coming. 3-2, 4-1, and 5-2. They'll go to the All-Star break with the second most wins they have ever had, and that is 52 victories. Our next telecast will be Friday night at 7:30 on the backside of the break, where the Marlins will start their road trip off in Milwaukee before going to Houston. Next time home, it'll be San Diego and Philly starting on July 24th. We've got a great crew. Pleasure to work with Gabby Sanchez.